Well, breaking down part one, we finally get to see the wedding, that relationship between Edward and Bella bloom into a mature love, where now they're man and wife. And then Bella gets pregnant, which is very difficult in this world because it's a vampire human baby, so no one knows what to expect from it. And the werewolves see it as an affront, and they decide that they're going to have to end the life of Bella and the baby. So you see the Cullens step up, and they're not going to let that happen. And so there's these very high stakes involved in this part one, and you're going to be on your edge of your seat, either weeping and smiling and having a great time, or just nervous for these characters that we've all fallen in love with over the years.
¿Preparada?
Sí. No dejes que me caiga, papá.
Jamás.
Yo, Edward Cullen, te tomo a ti, Bella Swan.
En lo bueno y en lo malo.
Para amarte.
Y respetarte.
Certainly filming it, I mean, it felt like we brought these movies to a new level. It felt like, sort of the process of making like a real film. On some of these other ones, it kind of feels like independent filmmaking sometimes. We have a lot of material to shoot in a short amount of time, and it's like very stressful and chaotic. And this one felt like a little bit more, I don't know, he was very prepared.
I don't believe so. I don't think it was very different in preparation in terms of as an actor. Luckily, I've been portraying this character for a couple years now, so I feel like I know the ins and outs of Jasper. And so to live with him for 6 months was just, it was a treat because I got to really delve into the character. Most films take about a month to 3 months to film, so you just kind of double that, and it was fun. It was a pleasure.
That was very challenging. It was a lot of material to shoot at once. I think it was around 200 pages or more. And we don't shoot in order. So some days we were shooting the middle of the second movie, and other days we were shooting the end of the first movie, and it was all sort of back and forth. And it was difficult, I think, to have your head on straight and understanding where your character arc is and where you're at, what your character is feeling in that moment. I think that's why it was really wonderful to have such a strong director. I think the transition from the last movie into this was probably the most, I don't know about difficult, just kind of the most tricky for me, because we leave off with Rosalie in the last movie and she's sort of in one state of mind, and then something happens so quickly with Bella that changes everything for Rosalie and her personality and who she is, and you see a totally different side of her. And so I think I just wanted that transition to be smooth.
One of the most complicated parts of the shoot was dealing with the elements of the weather. We can't shoot in direct sunlight because we're vampires, and so oftentimes we'd have to wait for the rain and the clouds, and then with the rain and the clouds, it was freezing and wet, and you can't. So it's definitely, the elements were hard, but we've been doing this for a couple of years now, and we're used to it.
There were 2 moments when I realized this maybe was going to become something bigger than what we had anticipated. And the first one was after we were all cast, to see that there were comments online about what actor was cast in what role. I was like, oh my gosh, there's so much pressure here. And then after completing the first film, it was the middle of July, 2 months after we finished filming, and the cast went to Comic-Con. And that was the moment. Up until then, we were making like a $20 million film. It was like a relatively small movie. It didn't feel glamorous at all. And I remember Rob Pattinson walking onto the stage at Comic-Con that year, and there were thousands and thousands of piercing screams, and I couldn't even YouTube it because the screaming was so loud. It was like blaring through the speakers, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is really something, isn't it? Yeah, that was the moment.
I think it was about a month into filming Twilight. whenever we started filming, we could walk around Portland, Oregon, where we first shot the film, and we could kind of play open mic nights and just kind of jam and hang out and go all around the city. And then about a month in, it started getting a little crazy. Fans started kind of following us around, knocking on our hotel room doors, leaving us these gift baskets, and it was kind of like, what's happening? And then my cousins would call me and be like, I can't believe you're doing the film. They're very excited for me, and it kind of slowly dawned on us that this was something bigger than what we've been involved with before, and something so phenomenal that it is this insane worldwide reach. The film is there's no real demographic. It's like there's such an age range and a difference in race and creed and everything. So it's for a piece of art to be able to affect people around the world like that is incredible.